let's talk about relationship charts in human design. Okay, the easiest way that I could figure out to explain this is to just go over to my website and type in the info and show you step by step as I do it. So when you land on my website, you find this input screen and you will go ahead and put in the information of the first person here. You're gonna need the birth date, exact time, and location. Over here to the right, you see today's, wow, that's a lot of energy, oh my God. You see today's current transit, but this is not your chart. This is what's happening in the ethers for the whole world. So right here, click view your chart. I did Barbie as an example. I don't know Barbie's real birth date, but you know, just to put something in, okay? So you've got this chart, right? And as you're looking at your chart on the website, if you want to pair your chart with someone else's and see what the connection is like, you're gonna click this little button right here on my website, thefeelgoodexpert.com, that says relationship chart. And look what happens. It takes you right back to the input screen. But this time you're gonna put in the second person's info. All right, so I've created some random information for Ken. And now when I click view your chart, look what happens. You get Barbie, you get Ken, and then you get the connection theme between the two of them. And when I scroll, I can see Ken and Barbie separately and then what their chart looks like together. So when you pull a connection chart, you're looking at about 5 things overall. You're gonna have, well, 6, I guess. You're gonna have the definition, right? So how these energy centers all talk to each other. You're gonna have the connection theme, which means how many of these are colored in. You're going to have companionship channels, which means these are channels that each person has the full channel. You're going to have dominance channels where one person has the full channel and the other person has none of it. And see, it's color coded, by the way, right here. See the color at the bottom right there? That's Barbie. Anything that in yellow is Barbie, and anything that is in blue is Ken. And whoever you type in is going to be color coded. Okay, so anyway, we're looking at dominance channels. So if you're looking at by color, you can see very easily, okay, Barbie has emoting and Ken has alpha. Ken has none of emoting, Barbie has none of alpha, if that makes sense. Compromise channels means one person has a hanging gate there and the other person has the full channel. Electromagnetic, that's where we feel chemistry. And that means one person has half and the other person has the other half. So let's look at the channel of curiosity. For example, we've got Barbie with 11 and Ken with 56. So if you thought the individual human design chart was overwhelming and you're like, what the heck are you doing, Tangi? This is too much. It's really not so bad, okay? Companionship channels are where you're gonna have a basis for friendship because you have something in common. Dominance channels are where actually the person who doesn't have the channel is gonna amplify that energy. Compromise channels are where the person who has the hanging gate is always gonna have to be the one to compromise to the energy of the person who has the full channel. Electromagnetic is where you're gonna feel chemistry in that relationship. And then the connection themes, okay? The connection themes, remember, it tells you how many of the energy centers get colored in this connection. And so the connection theme that we were looking at between Barbie and Ken was a 7-2. So that means 7 here are colored in and 2 are not colored in. And what exactly do you do with that information? Okay, well, everything that's colored in here, you're getting from the relationship. Anything that's not colored in, you're not getting from that specific relationship. So it would be unfair to turn to your partner in this scenario and say, inspire me. This relationship isn't inspiring me enough. I still have questions. I have so many questions. Inspire me, right? Or it would be unfair to turn to your partner and say, make me feel good. Okay, this is the splenic center, and this is what makes us feel safe. And so if you turn to your partner and you say, you're not making me feel safe, that would be unfair in this specific dynamic. If you have all 9 colored in, that's called a completion. It sounds really cool in theory. It is pretty fun to be part of a completion, right? Because there's nothing missing from that dynamic. But the hard part of a completion chart is that no one else feels welcome in that aura, okay? So like the aura is complete, it's closed off. And if you're on a double date, for example, or if there are 3 people, or if you have children in that relationship, there is not a lot of space. There's no space in the aura for others. And so other people end up feeling left out when you are in that specific dynamic. So a really good reason to pull a relationship chart in human design is just to see what the conditioning dynamics are, what dynamics are present, and how to show up fully in that relationship. There is no good, bad, right, or wrong. There's no perfect connection. There's no imperfect connection. It just is what it is, and it helps you read the energy and act appropriately in that specific connection. So please visit my website. I know there are other websites that offer connection charts. I don't know that there are a lot of other websites that will offer a connection chart for free. So I'm just suggesting mine because I know that it doesn't cost you anything. I also offer connection readings. Those are super fun. It helps you understand the dynamic between you and that person because it doesn't change. It's based on your natal charts, right? The only thing that would change is when other people are around or when there is a transit.